Management and a BS in International Relations, and is a graduate of the Defense Intelligence College in Washington, D.C. So another great Mahwah Tea Party welcome to our next speaker, Anthony Mele.
Thank you. Thank you for that generous introduction. Welcome, everyone. And first of all, I'd really like to thank Mahwah Tea Party for the invitation. It was very nice. I don't get invited out much anyway, so we're gonna come on down. And I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with this great-looking group of patriots, and it really empowers me and emboldens me, and I really feel humbled to be before you today. But I want to ask you something. Why are you here? Have you asked yourself, why are you here? Isn't American Idol on TV tonight? Isn't Dancing with the Stars out? Is this bingo night? Ask yourself, why are you here? Well, yes. But why are you here? What gathered you together to come here to save our country? So are we here because we hate our government or we love the Constitution?
We love the Constitution.
The what? This thing. The Constitution of the United States of God bless America. That's why we're here. So don't let anyone characterize any Tea Party from any group that we are here because we hate a party. We hate a policy. We hate a politician. We are here for love of country. We are here because we love and admire and respect the Constitution of the United States. And as Lincoln said, the power is within us. We are empowered to protect and defend this document. And you know why? Because the Founding Fathers said so. You know, when I was in the Army, I refer to this story now and then because now that I'm older and whiter and grayer, I didn't really give that much thought then. But when I did take the oath, I took the oath of service over the tomb of the unknown soldiers in Arlington National Cemetery. I don't know if many of you know about the tomb, but it's guarded by a sentinel from the 3rd United States Infantry, the Old Guard, and I was a member of that organization. And so when I took my oath over the tomb, I had a lot of reverence for the place, because you got to imagine what Arlington looks like with the rows and rows of headstones, and you think about all the soldiers and presidents and luminaries who are laid to rest in that sacred ground. And so when I took that oath, there's a line in there, and it stuck with me, and it said, to preserve, I affirm and swear to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that oath does not come with an expiration date, does it? No. So it stuck with me. But you know, all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I've come to realize, what does that mean? What do you mean, all enemies, foreign and domestic? Does it mean that we're supposed to protect ourselves against an invading army? No, that's protecting our country and our land. We don't need permission for that. Does it mean to protect ourselves from intruders or protect our lives? No, the natural law of man grants us that. The law of God grants us that. We don't need a permission slip to do that.
They do in New York.
We're getting close, Barry. Getting close. We are to think about, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. The Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, who are those enemies? As we mentioned a little bit in my background, you know, I'm an expert in counterterrorism, and security, and protection. And I'll tell you this, that no one who I was ever a bodyguard for ever fell to harm who was in my care. And I take into my care this Constitution. And I will be damned if this Constitution shall fall harm while I breathe. So when we think about who is this enemy, foreign and domestic, I'm here to tell you. I'm going to tell you. That's why I got invited you, right? Okay. It's not a foreign army. It's not terrorists, saboteurs, or criminals. We have laws that cover that. You know who it is? It's whoever takes that oath and breaks it. Who you say? Whoever takes this oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution before God and men, and They are the enemy to which that oath is describing. Understand that. This is not rhetoric, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that as Tea Party patriots, you need to imbue within yourselves and seed out to others. We have to understand where we are given the power to defend ourselves and why we are empowered by this document, that if we are faced with any unlawful act, any unconstitutional act, we are empowered to disobey lawfully, constitutionally. When I was in the Army, and you take an oath as a non-commissioned officer, when you get promoted, and you have men under you, so officer, non-commissioned officer, in that oath, among it is this line that says, "And I swear to obey the lawful orders of my superiors and those placed over me." The lawful orders. It is our responsibility to understand the difference between a lawful order and an unlawful order. It is our responsibility to understand what is constitutional and what is unconstitutional. And you know how you know? Do you know how you know? Read it. Read it. It's in the Bill of Rights. If they pass a law in the Senate and say that we can detain you whenever we feel like it, is that constitutional? No. Do we have to obey it? No, we do not. And every law enforcement officer is sworn to uphold the law, is he not? And he swears the same oath, does he not? So therefore, he is not bound.
Police officers aren't. In reality, sheriffs are, because they...
Sheriffs are. Okay. And that's right, sheriffs are. But you know who are over sheriffs and presidents and congressmen and kings?
Us.
Free people, my friend. Free people. They have tried to imbue us, to beat us down, to make us afraid. Alexander the Great said, "I do not fear a nation of lions led by a sheep." He said, "I fear a nation of sheep led by a lion." And I look around this room and I don't see anyone sheepish in here. I don't know. Any sheep in here? I think not, because you'd be home watching TV playing bingo. So yes, we have great challenges before us, but that's why it's important. Officer, remember your oath. National Guard militiaman, do not point that rifle at me. This is the shield, the bulletproof shield against that act. Lawful disobedience is empowered to us by the Constitution. First Amendment, right of the people to peaceably assemble. Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms. That's not permission. That's not to give you the right to turn around and squirrel hunt or protect yourself against intruders, to protect your life. The natural law of man, Hobbes, gives us that right. This is to protect us against our government. It's to protect us against our government. And we are now watching a government that is slowly, insidiously, slice by slice by slice, trying to take these things away from us, that when that young man gets as old as me, I won't say any older than you because I don't know, but as old as me, I tell you what, who knows what kind of country is waiting for him if we do not stand and stop it now. So people think, like, how can I stop it? I come to meetings, I go to Tea Party meetings, I sign books, I do this, I give money. It's not only by voting. If Paul Revere had the internet, he would have needed a horse. He would have needed a horse. We have to educate each one, reach one, each one, teach one, each one tell the other. Do not be afraid. Be bold. Be unafraid. The Constitution is not only a shield, but it is also a sword. And we have to learn how to use this as an implement of war, because we are in a political war. We are also in a spiritual war. And you cannot divide one from the other. Because what is freedom? What is liberty if it's not a spiritual concept? We have to understand what it is. So you can't turn around and throw words around like liberty and freedom and such. It is not a physical anomaly. It is a state of mind.